What's up, MFs? Welcome back to the Snake Pit. This is episode 133. Today's guest is none other than Tryptamine 08, D.O.G. He's been on the podcast before. He came on to promote a show that's going to be happening this Friday, July 2nd, here in Lubbock, Texas. And it's going to be JLB Hood, and Godamus, and a whole bunch of other local artists that I've had on the podcast before. So it's gonna be a great time and a great show. I do believe I am hosting it, so that'll be even more fun. So come out and check me out, check out these artists, support. I have tickets available if you want to buy them for me, $20. So please buy them for me. And yeah, it's gonna be a great time. We had a good time. He brought his friend, and we talked about the show, and then we started talking about psychedelics and aliens and all that stuff that we've talked about before, and stuff that he likes. And it was interesting. It was a good time, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. If you're looking to also support the Snake Pit, I just got in today is Monday, new 4th of July themed Snake Pit shirts. They're pretty cool, red, white, and blue. The reverse North Face logo. So hit me up, $20. Other than that, man, subscribe, free, easy, and it'll help me out a lot. Thank you, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Shit, bro. It's kind of like...
Bring that mic closer to you.
It's funny because, like, growing up... Are we live?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Growing up, man, my brother was really good in, like, sports and shit, bro. Like...
He still is kind of an athletic dude.
Oh, yeah, always. That's part of his identity. I mean, his personality, his athletics, definitely. What's funny is, though, like... I want to say, man, when we started rapping... I used to go by Young Plex. That was my first rap name. And my Isaiah went by The Prophet. It was Isaiah the Prophet. Hey, he was pretty good, dog, too. Like,
I forget you did.
Do you remember that shit, Robert? Hey, you might want to bring that mic closer to you, cuz.
Yeah, if you're going to talk, you can, like, move it towards you. You can pull it closer to you.
But now we lived at my grandma's, and my first studio was y'all remember the tape recorders?
I used to have a tape recorder. I used to record my guitar on those.
See, it was your first studio. First studio, man. And I used to get beats and shit. I would play them on my radio. And then I would get that tape recorder. And I would, if you're recording that way, you have to do like the way you make a song. You got, basically, you got your little intro or whatever. You got a verse of a song. You have the chorus or the hook of a song. Another verse or outro. Whatever, that's basically your song. And like with today's equipment or regular recording equipment, to do that kind of shit, you do tracks, you track out. You know what I'm saying? I do the verse, record the verse. Now I do the hook.
You can do it in steps.
It's all separate, Back then, I used to perform the whole song, bro. That's how I would record. Man, it got to the point, and that's how I did it for years, bro. Like basically performing live, I've always been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it got to the point where my sisters, when they would walk in, I'd get to like the third verse or almost done with my fucking song, and they would open the door and like, fuck, I gotta start all over, bro.
I met your sister on Friday.
Liz?
One of them.
Or Tori?
All right, no disrespect. She's got the black son.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, I met her.
Elizabeth, yeah, she's cool as fuck. Yeah. She's actually the one that would be fucking up my shit, man. Yeah. Shout out to Liz. She'll tell you, like, we talk about it to this day. She's like, I remember, man, because I just be in my room recording. And you want to hit this? And
be careful, it's got a little something. No, I'm just kidding.
So we start. No, you good. We started. That's how we started, and we're from Idalou, right? So like, Idalou's not really known for like rapping and shit, but Idalou, man, all these little small towns, bro, you'll find, man, there's some like real individuals. I don't like to use the term gangster, but like shit, when shit gets gangster, we were those individuals, bro. Like, weren't scared to fight, weren't scared of fucking. I mean, at the time too, we were rolling around with guns and shit, like little dumbasses, bro. But
even Isaiah,
we got some stories, bro. We got some stories, man. Well, this basically, like I said, I was Young Plex. He was Isaiah the Prophet. And we started with the group. It's called the original Lewtown OGs, because they called Idalou Delou. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's cool.
So that's where D.O.G came from, right? The original O-Town, or what it was like, the Lewtown OGs is what it was. So it was D.O.G. That was like our group. And when I first started doing shows, it was kind of like, you ever seen Spider-Man? Where he's like, I'm the human spider. And he's like,
Oh yeah,
Spider, the amazing Spider-Man. He's like, hey, that's not my name.
yeah.
It's kind of some shit like that, really. I was telling the dude, I'm Young Plex of D.O.G. And he kind of looked at me like, nah, you D.O.G, bro. Like, that's where my name, literally, that's how my name, like, people just started calling me that. I was like, man, fuck, it kind of stuck. So, yeah, I didn't really like Young Plex anyway, because just the image, Plex back in the days, it's like fighting and shit. So it's like, I just kind of, and D.O.G, actually, that's when I went back, the first podcast, if y'all remember, I explained how I came with D.O.G, that acronym Devil or God, was through my psychedelic experiences. You know, it kind of all like I made it make sense to me at that point. You get what I'm saying? Kind of.
Yeah, I have a short memory because I don't remember like your podcast. I don't remember doing one with Jen.
You do a lot, bro. You do a lot.
I just
man.
fucking, because I'll be like thinking about the first time I did one with your brother. I'm like, fuck, I don't even remember what I asked.
You know, I don't do a lot of these things, so I can get like, when you do a lot of them,
yeah, it's 100
and conversations will just start to run.
I just thought about that. It's 132 hours of conversation at least. So,
and your brain can only store so much information.
Yeah.
Like you have to be discernible about what you're gonna keep in.
Because I asked you, like, do you know Jen? I was like, oh shit, Jen was here and we did it. Y'all were talking about the book and all that shit.
Yeah, I came in on that first episode on some like, look, I can talk about
Trip to Me No Way and all that.
I can talk about music, but look, let me talk about some interesting shit.
Well, let's talk about that first before we get into all the other stuff.
My alien story?
No. Yeah, before we get into that, the business. You got a show on Friday.
Yeah, I still.
Tell us about your show.
Well, let me get back into it, bro. Like when I started, I'm telling you, like
Okay.
it's gonna come all back around.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
It really is, bro. Because I've been trying to get this show, particularly with this artist, for a while, man. It has been a journey, bro. Like, I've been, like I said, performing for a while, and it took me a little bit to get to where I feel like I'm at that level of being signed or being able to get into the industry. I used to think that about myself when I was like 25, and that's when I opened up for Tech Nine. That was about 2016. And I met this particular artist. He goes by JL Hood. He got signed in 2015. You ever heard the song Worldwide Choppers? Worldwide Choppers. Dun, 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 dun. Like,
That's his song?
That's Tech Nine's song.
Oh, okay.
And he has all the fastest rappers in the world on that song. He's got Busta Rhymes. He's got Twista. He's got Yellow Wolf himself, Chris Calico. The second Worldwide Choppers that he came out with has Eminem on it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So it's like that name, that Worldwide Choppers thing is kind of a big deal. JL, I think, was probably, like, he was young in his career, wasn't signed yet. I didn't really know who the dude was, bro. Like, I didn't really like Strange Music, if people don't know, is Tech Nine's label. When Tech Nine was coming up, you know, he really didn't know, well, the industry, the labels didn't really know what to do with him. It was a black dude with red hair and dressed, you know, like a priest and shit. Like, they thought he was a devil worshiper. But he had great music and was undeniable on stage. If you ever go to a Tech Nine show, which that was my first concert I ever went to, and I was opening up for him. That's the #1 independent rapper in the world. That I don't think anybody else has done. Like, that was the biggest crowd I've ever seen in Lubbock, bro. Like, I'm sure there's been some big ones, but as far as like one artist coming and people coming to see that person, Tech Nine sells out every time. And
Oh yeah.
so when I got on that show, I met JL, and I really didn't know who he was, but I had listened to this group called Cess Crew. It's two guys they're a group based out of Kansas City. All these artists are out of Kansas City, Missouri. Okay. And I don't know, man. I had a homie that would listen to Cess Crew all the time, bro. And I really like lyrical rap, bro. I like dope shit. And one day, we're going home, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, go look up some Cess Crew, bro. And he showed me who they were, and he's like, they're signed to Tech Nine's label. So I was listening to Cess Crew before I actually got into like Tech Nine and did my research on like his label and him and just the whole thing, right? Actually listening to the album, Cess Crew album, and I hear this skit, and I hear actually JL on the song. He's on that album, like a few of him and this other guy named Joey Cool, which he signed to Strange Music. So I'm at the show at the beginning of the show, and we're just, you know, doing a meet and greet, and I get to meet Tech. I get to meet Chris Calico, and the last person I meet though is JL, and he's like, man, you got some bud and shit, bro. We can go chill and shit, because they're on tour, bro. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's. So we go across the street and we're chilling like this. I don't know who the guy is. I really don't. Like, I didn't know he was signed. I didn't know he just got signed. But I have heard his music before, though. I'm like, man, that shit sounds familiar. And he was just kind of telling me his history. I'm just kicking it with the dude, bro. It's one of the coolest people I've ever met. He's a signed artist, man. He's just acting like we're talking right now, bro. And man, from that moment, basically I built a connection with Strange Music through him. Basically built a connection with that artist because he was able to get me on other shows. I got to go to Denver. I got to go to Fort Worth. I've got to go to other places, bro. And now we're doing this show July 2nd. It's all just coming around. We did a show in 2016. That's when I met him. Did a show in 2017 when he came with Stevie Stone, Flawless, Real Talk, who's the guy that if y'all don't remember, he's the one that was on that Netflix show, ended up almost winning that shit.
I remember you telling me that.
And then next year we did Denver. Next year we did Fort Worth. And this 2020, everything got canceled. I was supposed to bring them last year. But now we're bringing Gadamus and JL, two of my favorite fucking rappers, bro, here in Lubbock, Texas, man. It's going to be a real rap show, dude.
Where's it at?
It's going to be at a new venue called Lit on 1703 Texas Avenue.
Oh, shit. And how much is it to get in?
It's a $20 event.
Nice.
Just all around. These artists, man, they usually do meet and greets and shit like that, man. But they're cool enough, bro. They're ready to try to they're ready to get out and meet the fans, bro. I'm ready to get out and meet some fans. I haven't done I did that Tornado Alley deal, man. It was dope, but I'm a performing artist, bro. Like, there's artists that record, there's artists that write. I perform, bro. That's my thing. That's what I like doing, and I can only do that shit for so long, so I want to be able to get it in while I can, bro. And I'm telling you, it's going to be dope, man. I know you got to do that. Got to see a few local rap shows. And I've been part of those shows, bro. Like, but for the longest time, dude, my homie, that's why I brought homie. He'll tell you, dude, like, when I do things, I try to do things like the right way. You know what I'm saying? I try to show people there's levels to shit. Like, I think I'm a dope artist, but I have met doper artists, bro. Like,
for sure,
motherfuckers that humble me. And these are definitely two of those artists. And the people that I got on the lineup, I got Young D the Great coming out.
Like him.
I've got my homie Schizo. He used to go by B Mace, man. He's gonna trip you out, bro. He just a normal looking guy, bro, but motherfucker can rap his ass off. It's gonna be by the way, this is gonna be an all live event. Like, none of these rappers, this is one of my criteria, you can't rap on your fucking vocals.
You've always been you've always said that, like,
bro,
like karaokeing is what you said.
Dude, I hate that.
You've always said that, and ever since you told me that,
I paid attention to it now.
Yeah, ever since you said that, that's all I listen. Like, there's been, Vari. Shout out to he's the only one that doesn't do that.
Shout out Vari, man. He was supposed to
Alpha
be on,
Savage too.
He was supposed to be on this show, man. We just had some things come up, bro. But I'm gonna get him on the next one, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I pay attention to now.
Because I man, check it out. When I started in the scene, when I started rapping, that's what everybody was doing. Nobody was rapping like live like that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm with the group called Mafia Music. Shout out Eddie Kane, Champ Type. At the time, it was me, D.O.G, and he goes by Brother JC now, but it was me, D.O.G, and Eddie Kane, and a few other people. We went on a little tour. We went to St. Louis, went to perform at the food bar there.
Dang.
Hey, bro, and I'm dope, bro. The homie will tell you, like, I'm on point with my shit, even if the lyrics are on there. Over there, we kill it and shit, but motherfuckers were, like, basically kind of booing me, dog, like, why are you rapping with lyrics on? Like, nobody over there did that shit.
Oh, okay.
And that's like a real rap scene over there. You know what I'm saying? I got to get out of Lubbock and see how other people did it. And they were like, man, no, you're good, bro, but
you don't do that shit.
We don't do that shit, bro. Like, and I learned from that, man. And I basically came back. I was still rapping over my lyrics, right? And I'm telling you, I was like 25 at the time. And I'm thinking, like, man, I'm good enough to get signed. Like, these songs I'm writing, they're fucking dope. Nobody's, as on point with the fucking, like, whether it's the lyrics or the beats or whatever it is, I felt like I was doing pretty good with my music. And in performing, though, like I said, when I opened up for Tech 9, dude, like, that shit opened my eyes, dog. Like, I kind of saw, it's like, fuck. Because I never really been in no concerts. All I've ever been is to local shit, And that was the first, like, high industry artist that I ever seen, and he's not even like a Drake or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But
a lot of people, most people know who he is.
Dude, that shit was. I'm sitting there like wanting to quit rapping.
I was just thinking like, I don't have any. If I could say, it's like karaokeing it, if you will, rapping over your. It's almost like a cheap way to perform. It seems lazy almost.
I think why artists do it though, like say you hear, okay, so big artists, we were talking about Slim Thug and Baby Bash. See, I'm gonna promote another event that's not mine. That's happening the next day, Paul Wall. But those are artists that have big songs you've heard on the radio. So if that song comes on, everybody's gonna be singing with it.
But if you think about, but I was just thinking about it, like a live band, they don't have lyrics. If the guy fucks up, he fucks up. He's still. Yeah. It's a lot. That's what I think about. I think about performance, no matter what.
Exactly.
You're right. The live performance is very important, and it just seems very weak. Almost, is that the right word? Like very weak to like. Just
it's
like,
lazy. I like the lazy aspect because well, check it out. Country, don't get mad at me, boy. Like Country is one of my favorite artists, man.
He's great. He's one of the best. Well, I don't even know if he's from here. He is here, but he's great.
He's not from here. He's from Abilene or from wherever he's from. But I mean, he's a love. We've adopted his ass, man. A lot of places have adopted Country.
He's great.
I love that dude, man. He always shows love, mentions me on the live shit. I appreciate that.
I've been trying to get on your podcast, fool. I told you to get me on.
I appreciate every artist, man, that like shouts me out because they understand where I'm coming from. Like, only a few people have been able to go. I've seen Tory Lanez perform live, bro. Like, I've gotten to see Zero perform live. Like after the Tech Nine shit, Zero. I've got to see a lot, and he sounds just like he does.
He's great
on the fucking CD. Now check it out. Let's say you've never heard of me before, and you probably really haven't heard my music. So if you do hear my music, you're gonna be like, okay, all right, you can listen to it. Might like it, might not. But when you see me on stage, you're gonna be like, damn, this motherfucker sounds just like he does on the CD.
No, that's what I think. Like being able to perform really helps you because 99.9% of the time, especially if you're a local guy, when a guy sees you on stage, they're not gonna have ever heard of you. So if they see you on stage and you fucking killing it, they're like, oh, I'll go listen to you because you kill it.
Exactly. Check it out. Yeah. What you just said right there. See, most of these artists have the idea that, oh, I got this dope ass song.
They've already heard of me.
That might be dope, but nobody's heard that shit. The way you're going to make them want to hear that shit is by performing that bitch. Like, oh shit, man, which one was that song? Like K Sweets. When K Sweets performs that, roll that, smoke that.
Yeah.
You know that one? Yeah. That's like, I want that fucking song. He's going to be on this show. I got K Sweets on this show.
Kevin?
I got Homie Anonymous.
No, his name's Kyle.
I got some dope artists on the show, bro. I got a homie, Eric D.O.G. If y'all like R&B, this dude is like one of the best. I mean, him and Young D are gonna give y'all a motherfucking. I
had a great time
night,
talking to Young D. I really did. Cool. He was a cool guy.
See, Young D did Tech Nine with me.
Yeah. I think he did mention you actually.
We had a situation where when I said Mafia Music, it was me, Eddie Kane, and Champ Tight. Champ is the singer, right? He sings. But something that happened where he couldn't make the show. He kind of has like he goes to dialysis and shit, man, but still performs, bro. Like, yes,
damn,
but he couldn't make that show, so I called Young D and he came through, fucking opened up with Tech Nine for me. He'll tell you how big that fucking show was. And then when he got an opportunity to open up for Ritz, he called me up. When he got an opportunity to open up for Cap G, he called me up, So anytime I had opportunities, I called him. But that's called networking, folks. Like that's how you really, it ain't no competition. Like an artist getting shine is not gonna keep me from getting shine. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't dim anything. And I like artists that like Young D is one of my favorite. I met Young D, bro, in a competition. It was called what was it called? King of the Hub. And man, I killed that bitch. Like I killed that set. And Young D fucking was the better man that night, bro. Like I'm out in the crowd watching him perform like, damn, that motherfucker's good, dude. Like he killed it. Just had the perfect set that night. The perfect energy, the confidence, like, cause it like with a competition, you got to kind of come with it, bro. That was a bunch of good acts that night. Went home with the crown. Like if you go to his studio, that's why he's got that big ass trophy in there. But ever since then, man, we've been putting in work, and just like my homie Ville. So my homie Ville, have you talked to Ville yet?
You guys put me on, and that was a really good. Like he was a really interesting guy. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I'm actually glad I did that one.
I told you, like,
I'm glad.
Anytime I tell you, I like try to get. I'm like, here, bro. This is some not even just music. These people are the type of people that can transcend music.
It's like I'll be honest. It was just that was an old attitude I had where it was like I had this like already I've heard of him prior, and I was just like way prior, like years.
A lot of people are haters, bro.
And I had heard years in advance, like who he was and all this. And then like I was like, you know, whatever. A lot of people had mentioned him, and then when you mentioned him and Vari, and like to be honest, the tipping point was your brother. Your brother was like, hey,
Can I tell you why?
and then we did it, and it was fucking. Oh, she had already known about him because his girlfriend, whatever. What did she do?
She does my brow.
Yeah, the brows.
Oh, Liz does the brows.
So everybody's telling me, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, we'll do it. And I owe Vari a lot of favors, so I did it, and I was like, oh, dude, this guy's actually like,
no. Let me tell you, out of all the artists, I take my music. I'm pretty serious when it comes to this music shit.
Yep.
Serious, bro. Like I don't take no shortcuts. I know that I'm realistic about shit. I'm 29 years old. I'll be 30 in August. Like I know, okay, I can't be doing this for fucking. Maybe I can. Tech Nine's about to be 50 and he's still going. So yeah, I got my favorite rappers actually didn't get signed till they were like 31, 32. Real shit. Ritz didn't get signed from Strange till he was 32. A lot of these artists they didn't get signed till they were like 30. You know, like so I feel like I'm right on the path of where I need to be. Vil is the only artist because I met him as a fan, like just like y'all. I had heard of him. I was at a Stripes. It was on like 82nd or something. And I seen his ass. Man, he was kind of like, he looked like, you know, like you have a perception of somebody. Because he was kind of like low-key in love with kind of famous. People knew about him. Like that's what being famous is right there. When people, oh shit, that's Vil. That's how I was, bro. I was like, oh, that's that nigga right there. And on his music videos and other shit, he looks like, you know, it's kind of like Tom Cruise effect, bro, where it's like, they look like bigger in person and shit, but they're small people.
He's a very small dude.
You know? But that's like that, like kind of like that's what famous people look like. Real shit. That's what I got in my head, bro. I'm like, this motherfucker. And so I went to go say hi to him and I was like, bro, whatever it is you're doing, just keep doing what the fuck you're doing. And every time I saw him at shows, just anything else, I was like, bro, just keep doing what you're doing. Because he really didn't know how to approach me. A lot of people like kind of aren't on some hating shit when they approach him. You know, they don't know. He's like, I don't know if I fucked your bitch or what the deal is, why you're approaching me. But I would always just give him props. And the funny story is one day, I forgot what happened, man, but he was always talking about, you know, man, I'm about to go to this Tory Lanez concert, man. We're going to be chilling on the tour bus and shit, right? And, I'm like, well, I gotta go to Austin anyway, bro. Let me roll with you. Shit, if you can help with the gas, he told me if I can help with the gas, I could go with him. Right?
That's right. He told me that, or one of y'all was about the South by Southwest trip or some bullshit like that. Was that what you were telling that?
I went. This was
you
a different. This
well, you told the story about getting over there.
I went to South by Southwest.
Oh, okay.
I used to go to Austin, bro. This fool will tell you. I used to just like, fuck, I gotta go to Austin. Just get up and go, dog.
I'll be there tomorrow.
We'll get up.
No, like I'll be there tonight. Like,
I was saying I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's how I really was, bro. Like back when I was like 24, 25, I'm going
excited
everywhere, man. Like, it's crazy, huh?
Yep.
I'll say this about that guy. Like, don't take this the wrong way, Vil. If you ever listen, you're a goofy guy. Like you're kind of goofy,
That's my dude, man.
But motherfucker, you have some knowledge when you fucking spoke. Like you did it in a goofy way. That's what I mean. Like you said it in a funny way. To me, it was goofy and funny to me.
He has to do that because,
but he's, you know, he did the rattlesnake voice. Like he was like, you know, playing around. He's just funny. He was all fucking high and smoke. I think he's only got to ever smoke the entire podcast.
The whole podcast.
The whole podcast is motherfucker smoking weed.
That's my dude.
And but if you listen to what you legitimately listen to what he's saying, it's like he's telling the truth. Like and it transcends even just rap. Any sort of
wise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like wise is a very, he's very knowledgeable.
Yes,
and it's like you can apply. No,
he listens.
Joey Diaz is wise. Okay, that's what I mean. I don't want to throw that word out there. Like it's Vil's knowledgeable. Like he will, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he will be a wise man. But he was like saying some truth, and I'm like, damn, dude, I'm glad I talked to you because, like, if you really listen to what he said, it'll help you.
Oh, I listened to that podcast.
Yeah, it'll very much help you.
I had to make that link happen. I had to tell him like, get on this. I had to
get him back on here.
I had to tell him to get on it because check it out, bro. When I first met him, he's just like this dude. Anybody you see around, I don't chill with a lot of people. My fucking label's called Alienated. Like, take that exactly how it sounds, bro. I'm by myself for a lot of shit, but I deal with other people that are like that as well. You know what I'm saying? And a lot when I met Vil, he was just A1 from day one, bro. Like he told me about the Tory Lanez shit. I had to go to Austin. I didn't have a ride. I was doing some other shit. And bro, we're up there chilling with Tory Lanez on this fucking tour bus, bro. Like I met a lot of fucking people. Like, we're on the very fucking front, and this fool's on the back basically on stage with the dude. I'm like, this motherfucker, like, how do you know this dude like that, bro? Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one thing to chill with him and all that and be on the bus with him, but he was saying, like, how he was asking him questions, like learning from him and,
bro, this
and
fool was
applying
chilling.
it.
This fool was chilling with Benny Blanco on the bus, dog.
Just applying it to like real life. And I'm like, dude, that's why I fuck with you. Again, he's a little out of there for me, but I fuck with him.
Hey, he's one of those artists, bro. When they like, I can just say, man, when artists say this, when they talk about money, when they talk about struggling, when they talk about females, when they talk about their success, that's an artist that his music, he's really talking about his life, and I'm a witness to it. He's
very genuine. He was very genuine.
Since I met him, I met a lot of artists, bro. You gotta think.
I'm putting this one on YouTube. So I was gonna put this on Patreon, but I'm gonna put this one on YouTube. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Oh, that's cool, man. Like, because people need to hear this, bro. Like, there's a lot of good artists here, like Booger Bradshaw, man. I love that dude when he performs, bro. Like, I try to get him on this show. He said he's got some other arrangements
on here. Your show.
I'm on the show, but yeah, I definitely have plugged.
We've been talking.
I told him about Rattlesnake Roy, man, because
we DM.
This is a good. Like, you ever seen some shit like this, cuz?
Nope.
It's legit, huh? He usually has cameras and shit up, man. But
yeah, I was being lazy today.
It's cool, man, because it's still a good convo, bro. Like, Lubbock is changing, and we talked about this the first time. I said Lubbock is gonna be like Austin. Austin's gonna turn into LA.
Austin, we'll see what Austin's like. I'll be there tomorrow, like I said.
Houston's gonna be like Dallas, and Dallas is gonna be like New York.
A lot of people say all that. I've heard a lot of people say, like, throw around just different. That might not be the most accurate what they say, but they're like, when
you go to that city tomorrow, have you ever been to LA?
Mm-mm.
But when you go to Austin tomorrow, the vibe over there, bro, just remember that vibe. And if you ever go to LA, you're gonna be like, okay, it's changed now with COVID and all that shit. But
because they all came over here.
When it gets back to normal, though, even before that, I used to go to Austin a lot, bro. You could be outside at a concert smoking weed, bro, and I'm like, oh shit, there's a fucking cop. It's
pretty much illegal there now, huh?
Exactly, but you can't do that here.
No, they're still a little backwards here.
You can't do that here, like, even with the venues, like, we used to have, so you got all these, I'm glad that people are taking the initiative. Shout out the 806ers, shout out Vari, shout out Brennan Cole, shout out people that are actually, Eric DeMage, that are trying to do shows, man, trying to like make shit happen in the city, because there's not a lot of things going on. But the reason I'm throwing this event, man, is I'm trying to like show artists I'm trying to be an inspiration, bro. Like, this is how you're supposed to do it type shit. This is good. Like, I'm promoting it. It's going to be a real fucking rap show, dog. From start to finish, you're going to see some real artists. You might have never heard of them before, but these artists, they basically have their own following. I got my homie from Hobbs coming, Trouble Lope. You ask any underground artist if they know Trouble Lope, guarantee you 9 out of 10 of them are going to say, oh, yeah, I know that motherfucker. He's that hard. I'm talking about going like...
Hobbs got some people. They've kind of got a little thing going on too, huh?
My homie Foo, he's supposed to be here, man. Foo's he's a local legend, bro. Have you ever heard of they used to, what do they call it? 806 Danger Zone? They used to have battle raps here, bro. And
West Texas.
West Texas battle rap. It was WTBR. That was down in Midland. And they would bring people from fucking, he battled a dude from New Jersey, from Houston, from all these places. And that was his first year doing it. Homie went undefeated, retired undefeated. Like, he's known as a battle rapper, but most battle rappers, if you even pay attention to that, it's not the same as like rapping, like music. Some battle rappers aren't good at making songs, but they're good at coming up with punchlines, coming up with shit. They're dope. Like Demise is probably one of my favorite battle rappers, but his music is shitty to me, But like, but Foo, he's one of those dudes. He's not a battle rapper. He's just cold, bro. Like,
yeah, he's cold.
He's cold, dog. He can produce. See, that's like, to me, I was talking to K Sweets last night. We were having a conversation. I was just telling him, man, like, most artists aspire. Like, have you ever seen that? Not the Tiny Desk concert, but it's a Mac Miller when he's
at that record store.
It's with the internet. It's on his page. Look up Mac Miller and the internet.
I've seen it. It's like in like a little club or something.
Is that not one of the
Live from Space Mountain? Is that what you're talking about, or no?
No.
Where is he like with chilling in a little tiny spot, and they're doing the live?
It's like, it looks like a little bar.
Yeah,
it looks like a bar.
It's like a little.
And they actually have
really dark.
They actually have a cool little like stage and shit. It looks like is like they made the stage as high as the bar. right? And they're on, and they're like up there, and there's a lot of people there. This was like in 2007 or 14 or something like
It was
that.
a really, really good performance.
That's what he did live. Never mind. I'm not
But-
gonna argue that. But,
But
yeah.
like, you know how you're talking about live performances.
Yeah.
He performed movies, watching movies with the sound off is that album. But if you listen to that album,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He did. It's called Live from Space Mountain.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
See, that whole is
Yeah.
dope, bro. Like, see, but that live performance is different. I like that live performance. version.
The question with Lil Wayne when he did it with them, it's completely different. It's awesome.
Like real shit.
And he plays guitar, right?
Dude, he plays everything.
He's playing the guitar.
He does. He does
Yeah.
play the guitar.
Yes, yeah.
He does play the guitar on that shit.
Yeah,
Look, I got
that
it.
shit's awesome.
I got it on here, but
Yeah, because he's doing. He was like writing that album as he performed it.
let me see. Where's Mac Miller?
That's a good album. He turned it into.
But I can play this because it's live. This is not like copyrighted. You know what I'm
You see
saying?
it? Like just.
Oh, this is I got the download on it.
Oh, nice.
But all this right here, you hear like it's like I heard this shit and I was like, man, I was like, what the fuck? It blew my mind.
That's really what turned me on to Mac Miller. That. Hey,
Look at
for
that.
real,
That's
for
a
real.
live. This is a live performance.
People. Yeah, dude. That's.
Did somebody do something?
I believe that is Live from Space Mountain.
It might be.
And
That band is called The Internet.
yeah,
Internet is fucking sick.
he
Yeah.
turned that
Love it.
live performance into an album. Well, it's a live album.
Basically, yeah.
Well,
'cause-
it's on iTunes. You can
is
get
it really?
Yeah.
See, I downloaded it. I went to
Yeah.
fucking. I did the old school way of downloading YouTube
No.
MP3s, man. But see, like, there's songs that you hear live. It's like, man, I like the live version better than the album version.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely like that.
The question. That was a good
That
one.
one better than the other one. And I want to. That's what I like. Aim to strive as an artist. Like, I want to first. I was telling him, like, we got to keep it basic, man. Like, make sure you can at the very least reenact the song live. You know, because like when you're recording, you're performing. So when you're recording, you're capturing moments. So like I'm sitting here writing a song and rapping, I got to capture that moment. You get what I'm saying? And it's hard to do that. Sometimes you try to do it in takes. A lot of people are reading off of something and you can tell they're reading off of it. They don't really have it in their heart and they don't really have it in their like, man, I used to perform the same songs over and over again. And that's really what taught me how to be able to do shit live. You gotta memorize it. You gotta know it that way. And it kind of helps too, because if you fuck up, you can make something new. You can say something else. You know, I'm a rapper. I compromise. You know, like you're quick witted. You gotta be. And then you get a little time to talk to people on stage. I spit a cappella sometimes, man. I like doing shit. Like I would even spit on here, bro. But there's things that I want to save. I want to save for the stage. Like I think I tried to rap on here last time. But hey, that's something. That's something. You know, like even when you were doing your what is it when you're in the car
On the road.
with Rattlesnake Roy?
Got to get back on that one.
See, that's a good chance right there to get these rappers, like, you know, kind of like how Dave Chappelle used to just have like a rapper, you know, they used to do their songs and shit, but have them performing their shit live, bro, like in the car, dog. It's a good little idea.
That is a good idea.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. I was telling him I wanted to do like a Freestyle Friday kind of thing, like people really freestyling. They fuck up, but it's what it is. If you want to come with a written, but like some swing in the morning type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Riff Raff.
That fucking rap.
Dude, his Sway in the Morning one was, I loved it.
I like how he was always talking about, I could have played for the motherfucking Lakers. That fool's always talking about he could be playing for some basketball team and shit.
I could have played for the Dallas Mavericks, but they found crack in my jacket.
Hell yeah. What did he say? Could have played for the Dallas Mavericks, but they found crack in my jacket. Hey, Riff Raff, bro. You can go. There's some artists like that.
He,
dog.
he's got a live band now. It's
That's
called
dope.
Jody and the High Rollers.
That's dope.
Yeah.
For real. I have heard of that. See? I've heard of that shit. That's a good name right there.
Love him.
It takes a lot, man. It takes a lot to have a product, bro. Like it's one. Check it out. Rapping. That's what when I was telling you. Rapping is like the lowest form of fucking entertainment when it comes to performing. You know. But when I seen Tech Nine do it, basically they got all their sound stuff. They got their own like lighting, stage lighting. They have their own engineers doing the live mixes on the while they're performing and shit. They control the mics and they control the lights and the lasers. So like the strobes, everything. Like when he starts rapping fast, when I gotta be like all the strobe lights are going with him, his syllables and shit, bro. So it's like, oh shit, like so. I'm taking that and running with it, bro. Like I want to get some fucking. I need to try to get shit like that. And anybody that's interested in trying to help develop a better stage for shows that we want to get going, like even with the 806 festival, even with the Made in Texas festival, all these shows that people want to do, bro. I want to be able to fucking like, there's people that have stages, they have fucking screens, and they have all that, but you need people that can really like produce a fucking show. You know what I'm saying? With the lights, with the lasers. Even with a spotlight, you can get everything dark and then just boom, do a spotlight on. So like, nope. When have you seen that? One time here.
Yep.
Like that old school, just like all the lights cut off and then it's just on you. That's just a cool effect just alone, but nobody does that. But yeah, July 2nd, bro. Real rap show.
There you go, people.
And I hope you can go.
I'll be here, so yeah.
Gotta go, man.
I have to. I have to.
I have to.
I have to check it out. I want to see a real rap show. I want to see it.
Hell yeah. And then want to tell them, I think it's time for just to cap off with this little UFO story, bro. It's a real UFO story, dog.
Let me start by saying I do believe aliens are real, but I was just fucking with Isaiah and said no. I didn't think he was gonna call me out on Instagram, some bitch. So that's what I had to say about that. But yeah, man, let's hear it.
I'm gonna tell my first, because I've had 2 UFO experiences, man. The first one, you met my cousin Ryan, the one that bought kickboxes with Isaiah. He's kind of tall and skinny.
Is he young?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kind of, that's Jacob.
No, never mind then. No.
My cousin Ryan, man, he drives that gold car.
I don't think so.
Anyway, man, we're going to my brother's house. Actually, we're on the North Loop. We passed like the university and shit, and we're going, and we're in the right lane, the loop, going towards my brother's house, and in the middle of the road, there's like a deal that looks like it's black though. It looks like this, dude.
A Tic Tac.
Like a Tic Tac looking thing, bro. Like how fucking, but it didn't really look like a Tic Tac, to be honest. To me, it looked like a balloon.
Oh yeah.
It looked like the It balloon. How like the It balloon just there, and, but this was black. It was like onyx black, man. And it's about as like on the road as high as like the car cleared right under it. We went right under the fucking thing, bro. Like it's floating right here. It was just high enough for the car to go right under it. Right. And we look back. I look back and it's still just like floating there like this, just stationary. And I was like, bro, turn around, see what the fuck that is, dog. And it's like kind of like a little bit in the daytime. So he turns around and that thing's gone. Right. This was like 3 years ago. This next UFO experience was kind of, that was weird, right? But this one was a little bit kind of weirder. So, because he was with me. Tell him who you are, tell him who the fuck you are, bro. This is documented now at this point. Robert. So, we're chilling there. He's about to tell me a story about something, and I interrupt him. What were you even talking about?
I don't even know what we was talking about. I was high as fuck.
He was telling me something, man, and I'm like, in the distance, I want to say that thing was probably at least like, if I were to, I can't fucking calculate distance like that, but I want to say it was at least 50 miles away. Is that a rough estimate?
Yeah. Nah, it's about, yeah.
It was a little bit away. But I could see it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hold on, cuz, what is that? And it's just like, oh man, this thing's just kind of like just.
It looked like it was barely moving. Like
it was going slow.
Like the wind, it was going with the wind.
Okay.
Right. And I don't have good vision. So I'm sitting there squinting like a motherfucker. Like, what the fuck is that thing? And when I kind of like cleared up and kind of focused on it, it looked to me like a damn, like kind of like a Ferris wheel on the side, bro. Like That's not like I don't know what shape that would be, cylindrical or whatever. But when I'm really looking at it, it looked like as if like when a house is on with the lights on, and you can see like just the lights on through the windows. You can just see the windows. You can just see the light. You know, does that make sense? Like, but it was like 6 windows, right? And I'm sitting there like, we're looking at the thing, bro, for like a couple minutes, bro. Like looking at this shit, I'm like, nah, that ain't a plane though. I'm like, I was like, I'm not sitting there thinking, and this fool says it. He's like, you can't even hear it. And I'm like, in my head when he said that, I'm like, nigga, it's too far to even fucking hear, right? But another plane goes by, and you can hear that motherfucker.
Oh,
it's like,
shit.
so I'm like, as soon as he like kind of like, I'm thinking this shit, and he's like, bro, you can't even hear it. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, nigga, that shit's too far to fucking hear. Like, you wouldn't hear that shit. It's 50 miles away. Like, but there's a plane about as far as that thing is. And that was the other thing though. Like where it was facing, it was kind of going towards. It looked like it was going towards the airport. That's why I was thinking it was a plane.
Okay.
But it changed its fucking direction a little bit. And the other plane that I said that we could hear, there was actually 2 planes that kind of passed by it, bro. That I could like kind of judge on what the fuck it was. And those things were like moving. Planes move. They got places to go. This thing was just still like just going small, like going slow as fuck. And I'm kind of like thinking like, fuck, man, I need to get my girl out here to see this shit. She's pregnant. So like anytime I gotta get her up to do something, she's like, and plus like this fool said, we were smoking and shit. And she's like, nah, y'all just hot. Like she was kind of mad but I needed like, if she would have saw that shit, man, it would have confirmed the story just even more. But man, me and him saw the shit. But I swear, bro, as soon as I went to go get her, like if that thing was kind of like in a direction going in a certain place, there was no clouds, no fucking clouds, and it disappeared. Just blip.
It looked like, you know, whenever a star shines, like you kind of see it like sparkle or whatever.
How do you explain that shit?
And then it just disappeared.
So do you think it was? Now let me ask you this, because I have. Do you think it was some unexplainable, or do you think it's the U.S. government? Our technology that we've,
bro. After listening to that Lex Friedman, David Fravor podcast, I like what David Fravor is basically saying. If this was technology, because he saw the Tic Tac in 2004,
yeah, off San Diego coast,
right?
Yeah, I should know
so
that.
If that technology, that was what, over 16 fucking years ago. That was a long time ago. So if they're able to keep that kind of technology, like right now, he was even saying like, basically, we're trying to go to Mars. They're spending all this money. Elon's spending all this money. Amazon just got into this shit.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
China's probably trying to go there too.
Russia.
Yeah,
like,
everybody's space race.
The only thing like that other countries help each other with is going to space. Bro, like otherwise we're at fucking war.
Because my rebuttal is this though, because like you know Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Yeah, he's a
pretty smart dude.
Astrophysicist.
He's a famous one, and his rebuttal was, which I stand for, is like if they can come here, believe me, if they don't want to be seen, they're not going to be seen. So it's like this shit. Like, why would we see this if they can come from a different galaxy or travel the stars? They're not going to be seen. That's just the fact, like the science is like they're not going to be seen if they don't want to be seen. So what are we seeing? Like, are they trying to let us be seen? Are they letting us watch them, or is it the U.S. government like from captured alien technology, which I honestly believe is the truth? Like aliens did visit, crash land, whatever, like with Bob Lazar and all that.
Oh yeah,
just recovered alien technology that we've managed to re-engineer. That's my belief. I don't think they're here.
Well, if you speculate that's what the conclusion you come to, because you look at that, you're like, okay, like what is it? There was an abduction experience, like the first one. It was that black couple.
Yeah,
right. That. But that was before Roswell, and then Roswell happened, right? And then what trips me out is just like, yeah, if you like speculate, you have the Roswell incident, and then you have all this technology coming out, you know, television, the telephone being more like improved, like refrigeration.
I mean, yeah, because if you think about cars were invented in like the early 1900s, and then 50 years later we're in the moon. It's a crazy leap in technology.
and then we haven't been back.
It's
since
crazy. It's
then.
crazy. I'm just saying the technology thing. Where was I going with this? Oh, Lex Friedman. He's even said like, if you think about like, are you familiar with neurotech? Like just like
Oh yeah, Neuralink.
Neuralink, and it's like he was like, if you apply that to like really advanced science, these
I
things,
remember we were talking about that.
these things are probably coming over here. There's nothing manning it. Probably these are just alien probes. Probably there's nothing. There's no aliens on these.
Are you
It might be alien spacecraft, but there's nothing manning them. They're just coming over.
Are you
here.
an evolutionary thinker? Like, do you think? I would guess evolutionist. I would consider myself an evolutionist.
Like that evolution? What do you mean?
Like we're a part of a process that we can't even
I
comprehend.
mean, that's all life. All life's evolutionary. All life's always evolving.
But
That's just science.
there's different things that we can do that other animals can't do.
Because
that
like
separates
our
us.
brain doubled in size and all that. Yeah, I mean,
but check it out.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I think like
Where does intelligence come from?
that's what
What
they're
is it? What is it? How is
If you
intelligence?
listen to, like, let's-
how is intelligence measured?
like as a guy who's not in that field. Like if you listen to Lex Friedman talk to these people, it's like that's what they're trying to figure out. Like it was really bugging me when he was talking to somebody about a thought. Like where does a thought? Where do you create a thought at? Like how does a thought come to creation? And they're trying to map that out. It's a very weird thing to think about.
Your brain
It's
over
a-
millions of
It's
years.
just a very weird thing to think about.
Your brain over millions of years has evolved, right, to basically map out the world that we're living in. Okay? So, like, to the table that you're looking at, to the microphone that we're looking at, which are things that didn't exist 50 years ago. So, your brain didn't have basically time to look at a microphone the way it looked at a deer to eat or whatever our ancestors, came, basically the way their worlds were, because it's completely different. It's like if you believe in evolution, you can basically say that it gets to a point where, because aliens, when people describe them, it sounds a lot like humans. It just sounds like, oh, is this our future selves coming back?
I've heard that.
I mean, we even like when people talk about God, you read the Bible, we put a lot of human characteristics on this thing, right? So if we were to just speculate,
God was an astronaut.
if you were to just speculate and say, let's say, like, okay, what is that? We were talking about not the Goldilocks theory, but what's that formula that they're saying that, there could be life throughout the universe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
I know what
about?
you're talking about. I don't know the words.
It's not the Goldilocks theory. Is that what it is?
No, that's not it. But yeah, it's an equation to figure out if there's, and the idea is like there's
The
for
Big Bang.
for every galaxy there's like
The Drake equation.
for every galaxy there's at least 2 life forms
Okay.
that can exist.
So
in
let's-
every
let's-
galaxy
Let's say
or
that
some shit
there's
like that.
there's other planets. We know that extinction
It's a Drake
events. We
equation.
know extinction. Have you seen the first Power Rangers?
Which one?
Or not the new? Have you seen the new Power Rangers?
Yeah.
How he tells out like that very first fucking scene. By the way, they need to make that movie. When when he's like Zordon's the Red
Zordon.
Ranger, and he tells Alpha to. That's why I got this watch, by the way, because I could talk on it like a Power Ranger. But he told Alpha
Brian
to send the meteor to the Earth, right? This is funny in that movie, but that's what like killed the dinosaurs and shit, right? So we know we had extinct. We know there was species here that don't exist anymore.
There were 7 extinctions before the dinosaurs, something like that. There was extinctions before the dinosaurs are even here.
Right. So let's say there's a planet that maybe didn't have, they went through 4 extinctions, right? And whatever evolved there, it made some Neuralink type shit where they're sending some kind of, they're like techno-terrestrial. That's what Jeremy Corbell calls it.
Yeah.
Techno-terrestrial. So where you're basically sending like a drone out there, but that drone's basically a part of you now. Like, just the way I'm wearing this watch, just the way I got my phone, like this is the beginning of what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't see it as different. Like, yeah, I'm wearing glasses, but once they give me glasses that I can sit there and like they somehow, it's in my Neuralink, it gives me a thought. Like, that's what you're talking about. Like, okay, I want to know where I need to go. And instead of just this will say, it'll give me a buzz and it'll say, go this way. But what if it can like give me that thought, turn right, turn left?
Yeah.
Thoughts come off of fucking survival, bro. Your survival instincts. So it's like that is where your thought comes from. As far as like where do your existential thoughts come from? That comes from intelligence. That's the type of consciousness that we perceive.
I guess that's what the word is, consciousness. Where does consciousness come from?
Consciousness, the consciousness we perceive. Like, I have a question, like, for real, do you think cats see the same shit that we see?
I know this sounds like I'm dumb. I'm gonna say that right now, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But Lex Friedman did have a guy on where he was like, "What if he's like, there's these people that theorize that everything has consciousness. Like this table has consciousness.
It does.
It's just not at the level that we have consciousness. It's like at a minuscule level as opposed to a fucking dog, as opposed to a human.
You know what?
Like this mic has consciousness. Like every material has consciousness, just not the way we do.
Everything.
And I like that theory. I like that everything is fucking sentient. Not sentient. Sentient's a different word. Everything is conscious. It's
You
just
know why?
at what level?
Because everything is made off of bits of information. Everything builds off of from the stars that build.
And this just makes you think that simulation theory is.
It's not. I don't think it's a simulation. It's a continuous thing, bro. It's like it's happening. Man, there's a word for it, bro. What's that? I was reading this book, and it's not a simulation. It's like it's something like a simulation is like the idea that we're like in a computer program.
Yeah, but when the smart guys explain it, you're like, oh shit, we may actually really be in a simulation. Because if you think like it's just, I really like if you're listening, people like go listen to Lex Friedman, the people he talks to, and they're like, yeah, like
there's a word for it. I want to look.
There's a lot of fucking. It's hard when you've been drinking.
What's that word?
And everybody's high and everybody's drunk in here.
Hey, man,
to explain it.
This is how I am every day, so it's normal for me.
It's just hard for me to articulate my words when I'm drunk.
The opposite of.
And I'm not a fucking neuroscientist. I would like to think I'm smart, but I don't know. That's a different level of smart. That's an ungodly amount of knowledge they have.
Man, they used to. They had this dude had a word for it, and it's like basically that's what like people look up Andrew Gallimore if you ever get a chance. Look up Andrew Gallimore. He's a computational neurobiologist. That's what he basically he looks up like the formulas to be able to, show how, like if they need to figure out how they can dose out this certain anesthesia for a neurosurgeon to do, whatever. This dude went as far as like saying that DMT is a technology.
I was literally about to ask you this, and I'm trying to figure out a way to word it because I
it's
do.
A neurobiologist saying this.
I do believe like
neuroscience.
I do believe like, and I haven't even done psychedelics. Never in my life. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but there has to be a language. There's a language to the way. There's a fucking like if we were to put it in words, there's a language to the way everything operates. And I was gonna ask you like, do you think psychedelics kind of
DMT does
are like just is psychedelics helps you understand the language of the universe, if you will? Because I feel like it's just DMT, this is just me being dumb.
DMT is the language of the universe.
Well, let me just say, like, this is me being dumb and drunk, but I feel like if there are aliens, if there are other lives out there that can travel amongst dimensions and stars, they understand the language of the universe.
Bro,
they know
what
it.
I'm talking about right here. This is the kind of conversation I'm talking about.
I think that, we were just born in the wrong time. Maybe in 1,000 years, if we survive, we'll understand the language. I do because I do believe like there is a God, and I do believe that he is like in some other dimension or whatever. And I do think he wrote out this program that is life, and that there's a language to it, and we just don't understand that language.
So check it out.
So that's why I'm like, is there psychedelics? Does it not maybe like me? I don't think humans are. I don't think the human brain is capable of completely understanding. I don't believe it. I don't believe that humans are ever able to understand. But maybe like psychedelics makes you like a step further into like, oh, cool, this is cool. Because I do think there are like maybe God is just one God in a many gods of the universe. And he's like a race of people. I do believe that.
Do you know what a secret is? A secret is something that can't be told.
I'm just trying to like articulate for all y'all. Like I do, but like, that's my question. Like, do you think psychedelics, as a guy who's prominently using it, do you think it's like helps you understand the language of the language of the gods? Let's just say that
DMT,
the language of the gods,
is
the Chariot of the Gods. You know that book? I think you mentioned it.
So, Fruit of the Gods was made by Graham Hancock.
Like him.
He's talking about ancient civilizations using psychedelics to talk to different, entities, and basically that's what they use. Like that's what they use as they call them entheogens, right? DMT particularly, bro. I have a lot of years of experience with DMT, so I'm like a DMT scientist at this point. Like that's why I
did it on the podcast just now.
Yeah, it's helping me. You hear my voice change a little bit. No, on some real shit though. On some real shit though. DMT, right? Okay, you said if it's a universal language, let me make some sense, right? So it's in me, it's in you, it's in all the plants, it's in most of, and it's easier to name what it's not in probably than what it is in because it's in a lot of shit. So it's a universal language, molecular language for all beings. For this universe and other ones, because
there's most definitely probably
because DMT, right? If DMT, when I was having a conversation about them finding out that it was found in the same levels as serotonin, which serotonin is a neurotransmitter, so that's basically speculating, saying DMT is a neurotransmitter. It is necessary for our basic functions of consciousness. Because the most potent psychedelic.
I think I asked you this.
Life is a hallucination.
No, I think I asked you this, and I've always like tried to figure out how to ask it. Is like, is there a universal like code we operate on? Like, if there's aliens at another planet, do they understand that like love and like we care about each other, or like, you know what I mean? Like, if that's what I'm saying, like, is there just,
how do you feel?
Is it just like when
you
rip the universe down into an atom? Is it all the same? And can we understand it through psychedelics?
Because check it out. When I was going back and saying everything is built off bits of information.
Yeah.
Okay. So simple processes create more complex processes, right?
From simplicity emerges complexity.
Right?
That's like Friedman.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got basically, single-celled organisms. They evolved into multi-celled organisms, which evolved into us eventually. Bunch of simple things evolved into us. And the same processes that were evolving.
This is making me want to do psychedelics.
The same processes that were evolving the trees, that were evolving the oceans, that were evolving our planet, right? It's all that same information of wherever it came from. So
okay, so let's say that, like, is psychedelics connecting us all to that information?
So check it out.
Like a brain.
Let me put it this way. So your brain for this is not my. There's a book. I'm basically relaying information that I read off of a book. It's called Alien Information Theory by Andrew Gallimore. He's basically saying, he explains how psychedelics work in the brain, first of all. And then he explains particularly what DMT does. So DMT is the only thing that's a true reality switch. So when you basically your brain is always giving you an image of the world, whether you're asleep or awake, right? It's always giving you, because it has to. That's what its job is to be. It's like it never turns off, right? But when you close your eyes and you don't have as much sensory going on, that's why you have dreams, and that's why dreams, like,
I love my dreams.
Your reality is predictable though, because we over millions of years, our brains have evolved to predict reality. That's why we can make the moves that we make. We can predict the future. Not predict the future, but we can make plans for the future. At least we think we can, right? But just basically saying that, let's say people, whether they had a near-death experience or they had a psychedelic experience, they all talk about going to a place. It's all like, we've heard enough stories, right? So let's say that place is real. And there's different interpretations of this place.
The other side.
There's hell, there's heaven, there's paradise, there's the galaxy, there's the universe, whatever. There's different but they went to a fucking place, right? Especially with DMT. You have an out-of-body experience, right? It's the closest thing to a near-death experience.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, and people are like, why would you want to do that? Because basically what you're doing at that point is you're strengthening your soul. You're building your afterlife vehicle, which is what Buddhist monks talk about.
I was literally about to say this. Like, this conversation has made me comfortable. I don't want to die. Believe me, I love living. It has made me more comfortable with death. And I was gonna say this. Like, I know you know who Sid Haig is from Rob Zombie and all that.
Yeah.
And when he died, his wife wrote it beautifully. Like, he was like, he came from the universe, and to the universe he returns. And I love that. And now I'm like thinking, like, if we are all connected on some sort of path, or like knowledge of or knowledge of information, then that makes me believe in heaven even more, or not necessarily a heaven, but somewhere else that we go when we die. It makes me believe all of us are connected. I do believe all our good souls and all our bad souls go to different places.
Hey, bro, you're me and I'm you, just in a different space and time.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
It's weird.
Nice to meet you, though, for real, though. I'm glad I met you, bro.
That's weird. That's a weird way to look at it, too.
I see myself in you.
We're all connected like that. Like,
I see myself in you.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, when I look at y'all, I'm like, damn, I see myself, because I don't ever see myself.
And that is God. That's God to me, because we've seen videos like that. And then it makes me more connect. Like, okay. Death. Yeah, again, I don't want to die. Don't get me wrong, but maybe there is another realm, another universe, another chance after death. And this conversation, like, but even just the idea that we do just return to the universe.
Can I show you some cool shit?
We just return to where we came from. That's cool.
What if we're building our, like, just like the way that we're building AI? Because check it out. If the idea of AI is to transfer your consciousness into this body, this biological. When you're biological, you have a time clock. We're limited.
We live, we die.
But if we could, hey, what's good, G? Let me call you right back, bro. Basically, what was I saying?
I don't even know. What was he
So
saying?
you weren't even listening to me. What was I saying, Jen?
You made me lose my thought.
Having to go pee. So
Go pee.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead and go pee.
Okay.
What was I saying, cuz?
You were talking about
We were listening, but we lost our train of thought when you got the phone call.
Oh, it happens.
I was.
Basically, though, like dying is one of those.
That's what you was talking about. You was talking about dying.
He's like dying. Hey, check it out. Homie right here has legitimately flatlined. Like, they had to use the fucking things to fucking wake him up.
4 times.
Did you see something else when you were doing that? What was it like?
A bright light that hurt your eyes.
He said it hurt your eyes.
Even when your eyes were closed.
It's just.
Did you feel like it was like a good, like a god almost, or like heaven, or
It was
just
like peace.
peace?
Hey,
No
for real.
hate.
That's what my dad has always.
For real.
My stepdad has always like talked about heavens, like you are at peace. That's exactly what he said.
It's
Yeah.
rest. It's like right here, life, we're living in hell. And like whenever we die, it's like we rest. Like retirement.
Damn.
Way to put it.
Whoa. There you go, people. That's crazy.
Hey, and he's done DMT, bro. And he was able to be like, give me the comparison. Like, legitimately. And check it out. This is some real shit. This fool had seizures at the time. This was on medication and shit. And I'm sitting there like, I thought I killed my friend, bro. Like, real shit. Like, I'm sitting there seeing him like, because I came out of my, I'm actually
Oh, this is
still,
when y'all did DMT?
I'm still tripping.
Yeah,
we smoked
did
at
it
the same
very first
time.
Oh,
Very
shit.
First time.
We smoked, and see, you
Oh,
know,
shit.
you basically, you're supposed to have somebody, like, if you're going to do it, I'm going to watch you do it. And then when you're done, everything's worn off, now I do it.
And you what? Like,
Nah, we fucking didn't know, bro. Like, fucking went at the same time. Smoked at the same time. And I'm talking about the whole world. It felt like the world ended that day, bro. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And it felt like we killed ourselves. It
Damn.
felt like we just smoked some shit that we weren't supposed to be smoking.
like we fucked up.
Hey, tell
That's
him what the thought was. This shit makes me laugh.
I
man.
was thinking like shit. They gonna ask what happened. And they gonna be like, he died from doing drugs.
No, the way you said it though, it was like the way he said it though. When I first asked him this question, because that was an experience, bro. Like, it's like getting abducted by aliens. Like, I haven't talked to him about that shit for a while, so I was like, bro, like, man, like, what happened, you know? And he was like, man, it felt like I was gonna, if I did come back, I was gonna be like in a wheelchair or something, bro. Like,
Like I had fucked up. Like, you did something and you done fucked up. You should have never did that. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? That's
hey,
exactly how I felt.
I keep harping on this. Like, I just keep
that's
thinking.
DMT
I
though,
just keep
bro.
thinking about you said though. Like, is that peace? Like that's what.
Hey,
maybe that's what when you're a good soul and you
That's-
die. That's what death is. You're just at peace with everything.
Well, you have to be. You have to see like that. Like,
But do you think that that comes with like experience, or do you think like you live once and you die? 'Cause
hey,
I
check
know
it
a
out.
lot
If
of
you
people.
could practice dying, would you do that?
Yeah, but I'm saying.
DMT.
But I'm saying though, I'm
DMT.
saying because like reincarnation and all that. Like, do you
That,
believe?
bro, I never knew
Do you
what
really-
reincarnation was. DMT showed me what
But do you
reincarnation
believe
was.
like we?
Yes, I do. I've lived
we live
many
multiple
lives. I
lives
have.
before we
I
reach
have. I've
nirvana?
seen it. I've seen it. I fucking seen it, bro. Not check it out. There's not enough to trip. There's
That's up to y'all. That
There's
ain't up to
residue
me.
in this bitch. There's CBD in this hole. For real though. Check it
That's up
out.
to y'all.
I was shaman. I'm a shaman, bro. Like I used to shamanize folks back in the day. When I tell you I used to just get up and go to Austin, like some real shit, bro. Like I was a different person back then, man. I'm not so much anymore. Like I still want to change people's lives, but just in a different way, you know. But basically though, I was shamanizing a family. When I say family, I'm talking about a mom, a dad, and their kids. Their kids were over 18, by the way. Like they were all like, actually the youngest one was 18. They were all like 21, 23. Still cool to this day. They're like family. They are family actually. And but the mom was going right. Like the dad had took his trip or whatever, and then everything was cool. The fucking mom, she didn't really trip, like, or she I guess had enough, like, because the way like DMT is different, man. Like basically you have to make sure that you're, because it's kind of harsh. If you kind of vaporize too much, it'll cough it up, and you're not supposed to cough. You know, you're supposed to break the threshold of what you produce endogenously, and basically your body will tell you when you've had like enough. And I guess that's what because she said she tripped, right? So I'm like looking at the pipe, I'm like, man, you're wasting it. So I'm sitting there like hitting it after her, because that's what a shaman does. I go into the round trip with her, bro, but I fucking like went into a crazy realm, man. And it was one of my most intense experiences, bro. Like basically the way I explain it was like, you know how like the cartoon books when they flip them and they just have they do different stuff, like the animation, whatever, they have different pictures on each one. I've seen each one of my lives, bro. And I was living them.
They're doing it right now.
And I was living them. Like I was a woman. I was a Chinese woman. I was like an Asian woman. Like I seen my kid. Like I was a frog, bro. I was a fucking.
How long did that
bug.
take?
It felt like thousands of years, bro.
God.
It felt like thousands of years, dude. And then I came back, and basically I felt like I was on like this ship, and
what the fuck?
I'm with these people, right? Like we're in a physical room, just like we're right now. Let's say I blasted off. Well, it basically felt like the world just got shifted, and it was, and the beings were channeling using their bodies, and they just turned into beings. And they're like, "How did you get here?" They're like, "What was your experience?" That's what they asked me. They're like, "What was your experience?" And I said, "Life." They're like, "How did you get here?" I was like, "DMT." I forgot what it was weird, bro. And they were like, "Oh no!" They asked me, "How did I get
Have you
here?"
done DMT?
No, they asked me, "How did I get here?" And I said, "DMT." And it was like, "What was your experience?" And I said, "Life." And I was like, "Can I call my girlfriend, bro?" I called my girl.
I gotta go pee, guys. So y'all keep talking.
Mind you, I'm tripping. They're like not tripping, right? So they're like, just kind of, I don't know. It was just like basically they were in the trip now. Like whatever they were saying, I'm seeing it in a different way.
Yeah.
Like they look like insect looking things, man. And it looked like actually like she on the cool, some real shit. She looked like the Virgin Mary. She looked like I seen like the silhouette on her, and it had like the universe behind her. You know what I'm saying? She looked like that, and he looked like on the cool. You seen Bicentennial Man?
Yeah.
Was Robin Williams? Okay,
No,
have you seen Star Wars?
Yeah.
He looked like R2D2.
Okay.
Not R2D2. He looked like a mix of R2D2 with that gold thing, with that whatever that thing's called, that gold freaking stick figure.
Yeah.
Talking
Fucking.
about.
God, why am I blanking on this?
They turned into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like
I'm blanking on this.
they were telepathically like showing me my life. So, like I'm telling you, like I was like all these different little things, and then like I had to remember my life to get back to that moment. Like it was wild. I was freaking out. Hey, what's good, dog? Hey, let me call you right back, bro. I'm about to be done with this little podcast I'm doing to promote the show. I'm gonna call you right back. But yeah, that was like, that's how I know. Like I'm saying, I've always had like and this is not my fault, man. Like I've always had a knack for weird shit. You know, I've always been in tune to nature and shit, and like it really happened one day. At the time salvia was legal, they used to sell it at the smoke shops, and my cousin was like giving everybody that shit, like, here, try this shit out. And I was 15 years old, and this fool like loaded a full bowl of that shit, and my life was changed after that. Like it wasn't my fault. Like that's like when we talk about alien abduction, like I got abducted by fucking alien. I was like, that's how they do it, you know, like
nice.
They fucking disguise themselves in a fucking drug, like that's, you know, because I had that thought, and then I ended up looking up hearing Terrence McKenna later, and he ended up saying something like that, like he was basically saying like if you were a alien anthropologist from another planet and you came and you were looking at the Earth, and you're like, oh damn, these monkeys are kind of weird, man, like. They have a unique phenomenon, like, you know, they're pretty rational, I guess, if that's the way you say, but when it comes to like they have a moment though where they allow themselves to get stoned or drunk. Like all of us do it, right? They're like, it'd be too subtle. Like it'd be if an alien race just came and be like, hey, we're here. You know, that's kind of like, you know, a weird way to, like that'd be kind of that's kind of too like abrupt of introduction of, hey, you're not alone in the universe, right? But they're like, man, how could we, you know, let them know, well, hey, let's hide ourselves in the load, let's hide ourselves in whatever they're getting drunk in or whatever they're getting. Like, you know, people talk about pink elephants or talk about shit when they're drunk in, like the day when you talking about smoking K2 and you said that thing was fucking following you, right?
Is that what they call legal?
Legal, yeah.
Okay.
Legal. Like, so I'm saying like that kind of shit. I'm saying like, you know, people have experiences. I say hallucinations are a species of reality because you're experiencing it. It's just as real as whatever the fuck is happening. Like a dream. Have you ever had a dream, bro? And you fucking like whatever was happening, you're like, fuck, man, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like, and then you're like, wake up and you're like, thank God that was a dream. Like,
I've had dreams where I knew it was like, I told her one time I had a dream where I was like, damn, I've been in this dream before. Like I lived another dream that I had before. Cause like in my dream, I went to New York, and then I told her, I was like,
have you ever been to New York?
No, but I did. But one dream I did. And then like later on, like life, like years.
Yeah.
passed.
Deja vu.
Years passed, and I had this dream again, like not too long ago. I'm like, I've been here before. And I knew I was in the dream. I was like, I guess I'll have fun now.
You had deja vu in a dream. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a weird kind of deja vu.
Wild.
My
dreams are nuts.
The way deja vu we working with me is I'll have a fucking dream and the shit will happen in real fucking life. I'm like, what is that shit? When you have a dream and the shit happens in real life.
Oh,
like,
I always have those, to be honest.
That's deja vu.
I've had those before
what
too.
What the fuck is that?
I'll see things, I'm like, man, that was in my dream.
Like, what is, like you're like, I've been noticing it, like, hold on, I had a dream about this. Like,
I don't know if I've ever said this, and I'm just drunk enough to say this. I had a dream one time that my lawyer called me, and he was like, you're off the case. He's like, you're good. I shit you not, dog, on everything I believe in. The next day, that motherfucker called me. He was like, hey, man, you're good. So in the dream, he told me, I was good on my case. And then the next day, it was the most weird thing. It was the weirdest thing I ever experienced in my life.
I hope I get to experience
You should have. I hope so too.
I hope I get to experience that. I hope I have a dream like that pretty soon.
It was.
Let me touch your hand so it rubs off.
It was quite the experience, man. My dreams are always weird. I love my dreams though.
Do you dream a lot?
Oh, every night I have.
You don't
dreams.
smoke weed though, do you?
Mm-mm.
I think weed affects dreams. I think if you smoke a lot, it'll.
I haven't found any sort of correlations, like sober, not sober, no, like literally no porn, like if I'm watching or not, or taking like melatonin or not. My dreams are always the same.
You ever
I think you just have like a big imagination.
There's
that's,
never
like,
a time when I don't have crazy
transfers.
dreams, and it's every night.
That's tight. You're lucky.
Every night, like
So you don't need drugs.
No, I really don't. And
I really don't.
I ask my sister like every day. Like I'm not even lying to you. I'm like, my sister's name's Bella. I'm like, Bella, did you dream last night? She said no. Every time, and I'm like, shit, I had some fucking wild dreams. But it's also a bad thing because sometimes I have crazy like spooky dreams. I'm like, fuck, I need to get out of here.
Man, I wonder.
Maybe that is why I don't need drugs.
I wonder what it is like. Well, I could say like, I mean, there's not really a way to explain DMT to people, but the way I feel like it is kind of like an induced dream because like I kind of like, this fool would tell you, bro, like I'm really smoking fucking CBD and some wax mixed. There's just little residue
in that
in
little.
there. There's not enough in there to like trip. But this will tell you, like back in the day, I used to do that shit, bro. Like just sit there and trip because I kind of want to like, there ain't no right time to die, right? So it's like I was basically practicing just any situation, being ready for whatever. I used to do it before I would like record. It kind of helped my voice. Like I really feel it was like a neurotransmitter. And then I hear this podcast later where they're talking about this shit, dude. Like, you know, shit you not in 5 years, just wait. I'm just saying it right now. That way it's documented. I said this shit.
I forgot there's no cameras in here.
But check it out. No, that's cool. I don't need a camera on me. What was I gonna say though? But a lot of people do like just have like a lot of people take vitamins. A lot of people take now neurotropics for like especially like the guy that made them. What is it? Bill, I forgot. He was a football player, but they were basically, you know, stuff to help people that have CTE, dude. And I used to do boxing, bro. Like, I really worry about losing my memory and shit that, dude.
That's
like,
real. When you get in the head,
I'm a durable person, bro. Like, you see how my brother is, dog. Like, that I'm his little brother. You know what I'm saying? So I've been through some rough shit. So it's like, I'm talking about like just physically, like I was always having to go against my brother, like football. Oh, it's Zach versus Isaiah. Jiu-jitsu, Zach versus Isaiah. Boxing, Zach versus Isaiah. That's a hell of a fucking partner, bro.
He's a hell of a dude, man.
You get what I'm saying?
He's
like,
wild.
So I've been through a lot of like wars, fighting on the streets, boxing, actual competition, football. Like I'm not a big guy. Like if, you know, when I say I'm a scientist, I'm a DNT scientist. I am a scientist because even when I would do football, I'm like, okay, I'm 130 pounds and I'm playing against motherfucking white boys that are 6 foot, 2 something, like on the cool. Like this, like the biggest, like the smallest guy I'd probably go against was probably like 160 or 170, you know? But what's force? Force is mass times velocity, buddy.
Mass times velocity.
So I just
Game over V.
Run fast as fuck as people, bro. Like as fast as I could, and it would be like I knew if I was hurting, they were fucking hurting. That's how I was like, okay, did a good job. Now go do it again. I did that for 4 fucking years, bro. Like and boxed and did other shit, like you know. So I like for a little bit I would worry about losing my fucking memory, dude. Like that's why even doing music, man, I'm surprised I can. What did I do? A 25-minute? Just try it out. See if I could do a 25-minute set because I haven't performed in a long time. That's kind of a long set.
Yeah.
But shit, I remembered all my lyrics. I did all that. That's hard, bro. Like people sleep on that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like going back to the show, just to recap, just in the show.
We'll end this. You know, so recap it.
We can end it. There's a show July 2nd. It's gonna be a real rap show.
The real rap show.
And I mean, if people fuck up, you're gonna see them fuck up. Like if they're gonna like do badass, it's gonna be badass. You know, it's gonna be a real rap show. Mostly we got JLB Hood from Kansas City. He was signed to Strange Music for 5 years. He ended his contract with 4 albums. We got Godamus. He's still signed to the label through Cess Crew. I got him individually coming, so he's co-headlining. It'll be me, D.O.G. It'll be, man, let me actually pull out my phone because I can't remember at the top of my head. I've got too much. Like I told y'all, man, I got too much shit going on. But We got Schizo. We got Young D.
Shout out to him.
We got Eric DeMage. We got Trouble Oak, Young Pat, K Sweets, Anonymous.
Shout out to him.
A Dallas artist named Vito Real, and another Kansas artist named Shogun Jizzle. So they all have music videos, recent music videos. They are on Spotify. They're, go on the event page. You can find me, D.O.G. If not, look up Tryptamine 08. That should get you on most of my social media platforms. And shit, I appreciate you, Roy, bro, even just letting me get on here
dude, this was
talk
fun.
about crazy shit.
It was wild. I liked it. I had a good time.
I get like I feel like Tupac, bro. Like I'll be on my fucking rapper shit, and then I'll be on my fucking intellectual for the official. You know what I'm saying? That's like my what do you call it? That's my guardian angel is Tupac, bro. I had a trip one time. I just kind of felt that.
You and these trips, man.
Hey, man.
Maybe one day.
That's how you evolve in your mind, bro. Your mind's all you got. You have to expand. Psychedelic means mind manifesting. Did you see Mr. Mr. Psychedelic's fucking story the other day?
He's always
showing them different pictures with the multiple choice questions.
Yeah.
How many of those questions did you get wrong?
I got a lot of them wrong. But he's told me about some of the stories, so I knew some of them.
Makes sense, bro. Like, I'm saying that makes sense. I'm saying, like, it's funny because people misinterpret. Just like if I'm being, we got to change the narrative, bro. And it starts with places like this, like me being open to talk about shit. Like, these things are illegal. We got to mention that. These are things that I did back in the days. I'm not doing them right now.
You can go to jail for having these on you, people.
We're just being funny when we're talking about, like, oh, he's doing it right now. Like, no, it's.
Oh no, yeah, that was a joke.
It's not that casual. Like, if these are not things that you just. I mean, if you go do them at a party, good luck having a good time. That's all I gotta say with that. Like, it's a funny little saying. If you're trying to do like mushrooms at a party, good luck having a good time. Like you'll have a better time by yourself. They're things that. They can be spiritual. They can be, awakening experiences, life-changing experiences for people if you do them the right way. And if you do them the wrong way, they can even be more life-changing. So be careful. Like, I only promote what I feel that people should look up and just kind of see what's going on. Look up the maps.org. Look up Rick Strassman's work, the book that I was talking about when we were talking about, the universal language of stuff. Look up Andrew Gallimore's book. Alien theory or alien information theory. There's a lot of things that are out there now, bro. It's 2021, bro. You remember, okay, I showed you that DMT book.
Mm-hmm.
Bro. I was trying to explain to him because I told you, like, when we were talking, this is the first person that, I experienced DMT with. And I was trying to tell him, like, bro, this shit, I showed him a talk because you're only going to believe it if you hear it for yourself, right? And this guy, Terrence McKenna, the guy that brought it to him, right? Where did that guy say he got it from?
From the Army.
The Army Research Lab, bro. Like the United States government. They stole a fucking 50-gallon drum of it. And Terrence McKenna, bro, I'll show you that talk, bro. And he's like, the first time he did it. And he made a career out of talking about DMT and talking about mushrooms and talking about those things, bro. Like, but that's what he said, bro. The guy that brought it to him, that's where they got it from.
And that was like in the 60s.
He did it in 69. So this was probably had been like 65 when they did that. And and we're talking about like the government about to come out with these, the COVID reports.
Hell yeah. To come out with I think this month.
They're coming out this month with all that stuff, right? So I showed you that book, DMT, the Spirit Molecule. DMT, my friend, is the very first psychedelic that got to be researched, government funded, since psychedelics and everything else was banned in the 60s, right? And they're talking about entity contact and they're talking about all this shit. And that was a government funded study, bro. That's what I was trying to tell you that day. Is like, if this is part of that. People might not think it is, but it's part of that, bro. Fucking, what's his name? That one dude, that conspiracy dude? Alex Jones? Talks about that.
Hell
shit,
yeah, dude. I was going to mention him earlier.
Y'all look this shit up, man. July 2nd. D.O.G. live.
There you
go. Rattlesnake. You want to host this shit, bro?
If you want me to, I will.
Do you want to?
Yeah. I'm always down to get on stage.
Don't get too fucked up.
I won't.
For real?
If you want me to, I'll commit to it right now.
I really need a host. You want Rattlesnake Boys gonna be hosting this motherfucker?
I guess I'm hosting the motherfucker.
Hey, I appreciate it. You gonna go?
I'll go.
She
You
has
got the
to now.
co-host Jen now. Hey, you gotta be out there, buy some merch. We'll get you a merch table set up, man.
Oh, there you go, people.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll have the 4th of July shirts out there.
We'll even have a deal, bro. I'll set up a deal. I got a camera, bro. We're gonna make sure. Remember how I liked how the Super 806 at that last show they had like a little photo booth.
Yeah.
Y'all need one of those.
So
y'all come with it, man.
there you go, people.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. July 2nd.
Thank you, sir.
1703 Texas Avenue, the lit venue.
I guess I'm hosting it. That's gonna be fun. You got anything else to say, sir?
No.
Jen,
Hey, he's sore spoken, man.
Jen, you got anything?
No, this was very enlightening.
It was
Like the last
actually.
one was.
Actually, it really was.
Hell yeah.
We'll put this one on YouTube. Thanks, guys. I guess we'll see you all next Friday.
For sure.
Thanks for listening. There you go. Episode 133. Subscribe if you haven't already and check out the show July 2nd here in Lubbock, Texas.